talking, Linda?
I'm not going to do like this. Sorry, you might be
I don't know, Linda. There is a select board policy that we can select who from the trustees we actually want to talk to when that happens.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Tell you it's me, I'm just here. She's taking the wall.
There's light.
You ready? You on? All right. Call the meeting to order 6 o'clock. If everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And just let everybody know the meeting is being recorded, video and audio. So, Tasha, what do you say? Agenda review. Anything we're adding?
Just the updated hourly payment for the parks and
Okay. Okay. We'll save that for when Gail comes up. I know we got a bunch of things with you. So I'll talk about that then. All right, we did payroll and manifest. The minutes of June 10th we did were the June 17th ones. Ready? Yeah. Okay. I came in earlier, so. Were you guys, Amy, were you all set with them? Is everybody all set with both of them? All right. I know we signed June 10th, but we didn't make a motion for those. We have a motion to accept the minutes.
Make a motion, accept the minutes of June 10th.
Okay.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
How about the 17th, Gary? You good with those?
I'll make a motion to accept the 17th.
Okay.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we had 4 letters of hire regarding the beach attendance, which again will be during Gail's time. We had a veterans credit application, an abatement application and supplemental bill, 4 land use change tax applications, and then we had a letter regarding Bob Baldwin getting a CDL license. In that case, since we moved right through all that, let's jump right to, yeah? We're gonna go right to you. So Gail, we did get the updated quote from R&D.
Okay, so because I think Jeff left messages, and I think heard back from him today, he's not going to be able to get to us until, because of the schedule until July.
Okay.
So the pricing for the asphalt comes out at the end of the month for the following month. So this price is still accurate for June, but it may change for July. So at this point in time, I can probably just disregard that one, and then in July, if the price changes.
So we've signed it. We've awarded the thing. We've signed the contract. He can't get to us, but the price might go up because he can't get to us because of his schedule. That's how that works out.
That's a typical thing, even with.
I know, but it's
The AC
You're waiting on the AC.
subject to change.
Okay.
The state sets that price.
So then we don't need to sign that contract at this point in time.
That's the R&D pricing that we got?
Yeah.
So the 57 one is not. We're not doing it.
This one, the AC put up a little bit. It's about $1,000 more than the original.
Yeah.
If it's going to change again for July, I don't know. So if it doesn't, then this one will still be good.
Okay.
If it changes, then we'll get your nice price.
Okay.
Hey, Gail, do you mind if I ask you any particular reason why you do want to do like a shim overlay on the basketball court?
We live with his and another guy's opinion that it's completely off.
Yeah. Okay. Because it seems like it's a basketball court. A lot of times you can get away with. I mean, it would probably. The only reason why I am suggesting it is because it would probably save about $10,000-$15,000. So the only reason why I was suggesting it was because you could probably save like $15,000 by doing it that way. You know what I mean? But if you're good with it, I'm good with it.
Yeah, it is a big part of the expense of the paving. He asked why we're not putting basketball court. And like I said, there was Jeff and then another gentleman who doesn't do paving anymore, but used to in North Lake in the state. He's in town somewhere. Also said that
Okay.
that would be best for brick in the basketball
Right.
court because it's got heaves in it, it's got cracks in it, a lot of burrowing grass growing through it and stuff. So
Okay.
that's why we chose to just do
Yeah.
brick.
All right. You're comfortable with it?
And you still have money allocated
We do.
in there to do that. So,
Yes.
okay. All right. So your next thing, you want to talk about your swim instructors or your certification?
Sure. We can move that
So
one.
Gail has sent us a swimming instructor certification for other options besides Red Cross that she's looked into. And you went to Swimming Lessons University.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So I looked at their information online really well, and then I actually spoke with the owner of it and got some information from him. And it sounds very comparable to, in the lessons, comparable to Red Cross. So it doesn't sound like the lessons will be gapping in any way from what the parents and the kids are used to. It is all online, and your certification doesn't expire, where Red Cross is only good for 2 years, and then you have to recertify. And this one, you have access to, so because it's online, you have access to all of that training. So like next spring, I would be able to go back in and just touch up on any areas that I wasn't familiar with, but I had forgotten about or anything like that. And they already have plans redone that you can print, and you have free access to those all the time. So in my opinion, it actually would be a little bit better than Red Cross because you have access to all of this information all the time, so you don't get yourself refresher courses before every season.
And this is a swim instructor only. This is not lifeguard
Correct.
training. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they do lifeguard training online.
Yeah. No. It's swimming instructor only.
Okay. And the cost of the town is $245 for you to do it.
So that would be the cost to the revolving account for Parks and Rec is how we did it in the past, and that's how we looked at it. So I would like to take the course and teach swimming lessons. Is where we're at. We haven't found anybody else that wants to do that. What we did 2 years ago was when we had Madeline come on and she wasn't certified, she paid to get certified after the first set of lessons, after the first season. We reimbursed her 2/3. She came back for the second year. We reimbursed her that other third, and she did not get paid for any of her time taking the classes to get the certification. And so I talked with the almost commission. They're sworn in now. They weren't at the time that we had the meeting, but we discussed this, and I asked them if it was brought to the vote, how they would feel about it to handle it the same way. So they said that they were fine with it, and the money's reimbursed on our revolving account, not out of town funds.
Okay. So it's not. This isn't coming out of town budget. This is actually Parks and Rec.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't particularly know it's a us decision. If the commission makes a decision, that'd be inaccurate. This is a Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you guys good with this swimming lesson university opposed to Red Cross certification? Is that, I believe it should pass this decision.
I don't even know if that is. I don't think it's an us. And I'm not trying to dodge it. Yeah, I don't think it's an us. Like if Parks and Rec is going to pay for it out of their thing, and it's a Parks and Rec thing, I mean, I don't have a problem with it being this, but I don't know that it's in our
I don't think so.
in our purview to do that.
Alright.
Not that we're avoiding it. So what do you think?
It's a good idea, I think. And then if somebody else wants to do it sometime, we can have them contact you, they can do it, and if they come on, we can reimburse them like we did. And this might encourage more people where it's not a lifetime.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is normal.
All right.
Okay. And then,
So in that case, we'll
So,
move on.
no, we're not moving on yet.
Well, no, on this one.
No, not yet.
Okay.
So I'll talk with the Parks and Rec Commission as long as they're okay with us using from Western University. They're okay with the reimbursement status the way that we did it in the past. Then I would be looking to be hired as the swimming instructor by the town. Would that be?
There's that. So
Would that be?
in addition to being your current position,
Yes.
and how many hours a week is the swimming instructor?
It will vary. It could be 25 would probably be the max. That would be like a 5-hour day. It depends on how many kids we get enrolled into kids, then we're gonna have to split them. It's gonna be 2 classes, instead of 2 half-hour classes. Where if we only get 6, and then the next grades, if they're spread out, good, then we don't need to have double classes on any of the ages.
Yep.
But that's gonna determine how long the swimming instructor has to work.
Okay. And we've already budgeted for a swimming instructor. Correct.
It's paid out of each attendance, yes.
That's already there.
4
Yeah.
weeks, right?
So normally it's 4 weeks. We do a first session and a second session. If all of this goes through, I get my certification and stuff. We'll see where we're at, if we're able to still offer 2 sessions. Otherwise, we'll just offer the 1 session this year, and then next year we'll be able to go back to 2.
How did we do it last year and the year before?
So
Because I know we had swimming instructors, right?
yeah, so last year Madeline Penfield did it. So
Okay.
2 years ago, we were in the same situation. We didn't have one, and we wanted to pay for her certification, the 2/3 and the 1/3.
Okay. All right.
And that's where you guys had us, not you 3, but it was
Yep.
overhead coming from the select board to get that approval.
Okay. Yeah, it was Gary.
And she came back for her second year, we reimbursed her the other third, and she's now
Okay,
in college,
gotcha.
working a job, and can't.
Okay. Yeah.
So that would put you at 38 hours a week. You did 25 and 13.
Yeah, that'd be hours.
Do we have to worry about?
No.
Okay, it's temporary.
It's not consistent.
Okay. If she crosses 40 hours, does that create an overtime situation for her?
If she,
So I have to just watch that for your line. That's all.
Yeah. If I'm doing lessons, there's a chance that my parks and rec hours will go down for this.
Yeah, what about retirement?
it's not, she's
No,
not.
it's part-time, so.
Working with them, she would be able.
But is retirement though a certain amount of hours for the year, or is it?
No, it's 35 hours a week consistent. Hired and staff.
And it'll be 2 weeks, and then if we do another one, it'll be 2 weeks of gap and then 2 more weeks. Or just maybe 2 weeks, depending on how much time I need to get those.
Okay.
So is there any problem with me being hired for the position before I do all the training?
Sounds good. I see these other towns are all having a hard time getting it.
Yeah, I know New Durham's coordinator actually is teaching theirs, and the last name Pittsfield had come in, so make sure.
We could probably rent you out too, Dan.
That's possible. We've shared an instructor with New Durham before.
Yeah.
So if nobody's got any objections, I'll make the motion that we hire. So I'll make sure we're not violating hiring rules. We didn't really but we hire Gail as the swim instructor for the 2025 summer.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now can we move on?
Yeah, no, move on.
All right.
Okay, so my 4 beach attendants, are those okay to be signed in? You guys are all set with that?
I think we all signed the letters.
Yeah.
All ready for that?
It's good you got 4.
I know. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
it's very exciting, right?
It's exciting.
Yeah, very happy about that. So the only other thing was the food and concerts. So Chris, I'm not sure how you say his last name, Valeri, has a hot dog and nacho cart that he's doing at the farmer's market. And he says that he has his insurance and his safe certificate license. Would like to do sales at the concerts. So I talked with the commission, and they think that it would be nice to have other opportunities for food or other options for food. But we would reach out to all the organizations that are selling first to make sure that they're okay with it. Because like the Boy Scouts was selling hot dogs, so obviously we wouldn't want him there. And I knew one of the churches usually sells hot dogs, so that would be again, we don't want them there. They're conflicting with what our organizations are trying to do fundraising for.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that are just doing like sweets, cookies, fresh cookie treats, things like that, we'll still check with them to make sure that they don't have a problem, because if there's another food vendor, it's possibly going to take away from sales for them. So if the vendors or the organizations that are doing fundraisers don't have a problem with it, do you guys have a problem if we offer this food court?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just hoping he's going to show up because we're headed into the 4th week of the farmer's market. We haven't seen him yet.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Okay. And along with that, I wanted to reach out to the White Buffalo and country store if they're still doing Sunset Foods and then in their mouth, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And see, okay, then I want to reach out to them also and see if they have any interest in offering a promotion of concert nights. So like from 5 to 6:30, maybe $5 off to 25, or a cheaper cheese pizza or something like that, where I can promote it like, hey, you go to White Buffalo, this is the deal, and grab your pizza coming out of the concert. So it's just to give people more options, maybe try to get some business into our community and stuff like that.
Well, the guy selling tacos and nachos, do we have any issues? We were just talking about peddlers licensing, which I know is door to door, but do we have anything that's going to need?
No.
We take care of it. So. Think you're good.
Okay, so it's close. Alright.
You probably want to check with Lower East Side if you're going to go Buffalo Country Store, Lower East Side. And I don't know about Blueberry Station, but they do things as well.
Okay.
Otherwise, somebody's going to come visit us because we left them out.
No, that's okay. I think more options are better.
And I'm sorry.
No, that's quite right. And I did mention to Gail, she's going to reach out to the church.
Yeah,
and
that's
get
what I was
a
gonna say.
Property
Yep.
to get permission.
All right, be done at the end of the day.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
That it?
Thank you.
That's it for me.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, at this point in time, we will move on to the library trustees and the MOU.
I'm gonna stand. The acoustics are really bad in here, so I'm just gonna talk loud and I'm gonna stand. The library staff knows, but hope you don't mind. I'm here to present the MOU, but before we get started, the sole purpose of over here is that we just have a mutual understanding of our relationship, first and foremost as townspeople, and then librarians, and then as select board members and members of town. So, if it's all right with you guys, I'm going to actually read this. I will try to be quick and clear, but I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look through it.
You're going to read us like the MOU? I prefer you didn't.
Yeah.
Only because we've gotten it and we've read it,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
you don't need to read it to
Yeah, I
us.
don't need to read it?
Nope.
Okay. So the only thing
Everybody
I
can read,
guess-
Garrett? All right, good.
No, okay. So
I
I
can
with the big
What's that?
Said he can read, he just can't add.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in it.
do the adding.
If I could just bring attention to paragraph number 3 under point 1, salaries and payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this isn't a contract, it's not a legal obligation, it's just a memorandum of understanding, it just talks about our relationship between towns managers and library. We mentioned in the statement, library employees are not town employees, the board of selectmen agrees to provide continuing coverage for qualifying library employees under the town's health and dental insurance plan. And so now, just based on what Karen mentioned a couple minutes ago, that would include the retirement plan
For full-time employees.
for full-time employees.
Correct.
Consecutive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we amend this then, or sign today?
So they would be under the town's retirement as they stand. Is that different than he said when he called?
If they're town employees, you would be eligible for the make sure retirement system.
Right. If they're library employees,
Then they
so this is
would have to reach out separately to the retirement system themselves.
so the language creates the challenge. Okay, so we provide the health and dental insurance as long as they meet the town's health and dental insurance criteria. This was a conversation we had before as we do full-time employees, and I think we resolved that. Where we lead with they're not town employees. And the gray area is the fact that right now we pay them under the town's EIN.
Right.
The town's retirement is under the town's EIN. Makes you a town employee.
Correct.
If you're stressing the fact that you're not a town employee, you can't be under the town's retirement. And it creates that, it's a legal challenge. And I know that came down from the retirement system. We're getting parts of this through. You know, we got the health insurance, but it is that kind of differentiation. And I think sometimes get hung up. So Danielle is protected from us, like statutorily, and they've made a definitive statement that a librarian does not fall under the select board. We can't tell her what books to put on the shelf. We can't fire her because we didn't like the books she picked, those sort of things. So Danielle gets that statutory protection. When we start to differentiate everybody, it does create a legal gray area. One of the things that it creates is in your guys' policy manuals, you have FMLA. As town employees, you qualify for FMLA. As library employees, you do not because you don't have enough employees. So they are things that we have to watch as we maneuver the language, how that works. And if we had to set, if the library had to set everything up under their own EIN, and I know when we started into this, there was questions as to, does the library have its own EIN, or do they not? And I think at this point in time, we've determined that they don't. Is that correct, Daniel?
We had one at one time, but we don't utilize it right, so I think it just kind of, after a few years, we're not using it.
Okay. Good, because I think they looked and it's not there. So it's just making sure that's when and I understand the protecting Danielle, and not just Danielle. It's Larissa in Stratford. It's all the librarians are protected throughout the state of New Hampshire for exactly the reason that we can't. Andy didn't like the fact that they took down the Bob the Builder Bulldozer book. There's nothing he can do about it, right?
Yep.
You know, so it's important that we just understand the differentiation and being cautious in our language. So
With respect to that, so what do we say about the tax benefits?
So right now we've got the language in there for the health insurance.
Correct.
And I do think that if we went and looked at all the other towns, the librarians that are full-time, and I'd have to ask Larissa what they just did, because I know she's got retirement, and I'm assuming she's under Stratford. We just be careful with the language when we say not a town employee.
I want to clarify this, that's not our language, that's the RC. We're not
Okay.
trying to
Right, and it says that you're not a town employee, that Danielle is not a town employee, so I don't know that, and I get that. So it's just making sure that we don't put ourselves in a pickle where somebody comes back and says, oh, I can't do it. I mean, having Danielle get retirement under the towns is a benefit to everybody. Like it's not a bad thing. So it's just making sure that we're clear on how we do that. But so in your conversations with them, if we add in here health, dental, and retirement for qualifying employees under, because the piece that I know says here, under the town's policies, because that's the important piece. And the reason that is the town at one point in time offered health insurance to part-time employees, and they no longer do. So our plan doesn't have coverage for that. We would have to add something new and have only one part-time employee, which would dramatically drive the cost.
Yeah, and that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We're just talking about full-time employees.
Yeah. So that's why that language about, so you guys couldn't say, oh, guess what, we're going to give Cassie health insurance next year because we feel she qualifies. She'd have to qualify under the town's plan, that's all. So that's important language.
So shall we, before I was going to come away tonight with signatures on this, before we do that, shall we do one more revision to this and then compile signatures? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I think it's okay.
Is that right?
And are
Okay.
you guys good with that language of adding retirement under the town's policies? I guess town's benefits policies. So I think it's right there.
Yeah, I'm
So,
trying to figure out.
so we would provide coverage for qualifying library employees under the town's health, dental insurance, and New Hampshire state retirement under the town's benefit policy.
Has the town attorney reviewed this?
There's no need to, it's not a contract.
Oh,
I know that.
I don't mean to speak, but that's just.
No, I get that, but sometimes they may have opinions of things to watch out for.
Right, and
Or to
we
add
have had this
something.
reviewed.
I have not said.
Not this revision.
That's a board decision.
I mean, I would feel comfortable sending it to the town's attorney just to see what recommendations they have
Okay.
potentially before it gets signed, just in case.
Yep.
So, just to protect both
Just to make
sides.
sure.
Trying to do.
It's a memorandum of understanding. If you feel that we need to pay the lawyer to do that, we can. But it's kind of, I don't think the language here is misleading or unclear and ambiguous.
other than it could walk us into a problem 10 years from now. That's what we try to avoid. A
Yeah.
problem. Danielle goes to get something on a retirement, and somebody says, "Oh, did you see this? She doesn't qualify because we didn't make sure it was correct." And that's what we're really trying to do. Or because, and I know that a lot of this is for the future, right? It's not. Danielle's not, as I understand, not saying I want health and dental, and that this is for a future.
Yeah.
We want to be sure that when we make that hiring decision, or the trustees do, it's correct then. Because I think that's what we're doing. This is planning for.
I guess my issue is if you qualify for it and we say that, you have to go on it.
Retirement,
You're gonna have to
retirement,
go
yes.
on this
Yeah.
before you do
Well,
it.
I think we need to budget for the retirement if it's, yeah, so we can look into that for next year's budget, but it's not something we can just jump into right now.
Well, if we say it
It has
and
to.
she goes into it,
You say
it comes out of the budget you have today. Like if we sign this and we say that she's now in the retirement, and the retirement plan is a business, and they want people in the retirement plan. They don't want to keep people out; they want them in. So we just have to make sure, and then that goes into against your budget. You know, that's all.
I'm okay with us. We need to have an assessment for next year. And that way it doesn't mess with anything this year on the budget.
That's a good idea.
But how does that affect the town health and dental insurance? Does she need to jump right into that?
Nope.
You don't have to
Why is
take
there?
it.
Because you don't have to take it.
It's a law, you have to take the retirement if you
There-
work
you-
under 35 hours.
You can't opt out of it. The state
Right.
doesn't
You
allow
can't
it.
opt out of retirement.
You don't have to take the health insurance and the dental.
Right. So that's the difference in the two.
So we get rid of that, and now we don't have to revise it.
So we can table that
We can take that to the next year. And then I'm waiting.
Well, before we,
right? I mean,
why don't we get it all done? If we table it now and we go and discuss this next June, we're already into the next budget. And Michelle's already giving me that budget look, right?
correct.
We're going to need to tell her when we start budget conversation this fall that they will have a retirement piece next year in the library budget. So that conversation starts in about 3 months.
Right.
So if we're going to clean it up, let's clean it all up.
Right, because this
Just
isn't
do it.
binding right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Just understanding, on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So would your recommendation be to, after we move forward, just sign this now and sign another one?
Nope. Add the retirement. Andy's asked that we send it to the attorney for review. Get it reviewed by the town's attorney. Make sure everything makes sense. Sign it. Be done in one fell swoop.
But then you said that she has to start partaking immediately.
We can date
For next year.
it starting January 1st, 2025
2026.
or 26, whatever it is,
Whatever year next year is.
whatever next year is. So we just add a line that's when it starts.
Okay.
We can make this MOU effective January 1st, 2026. And that way it can get put into the budget process. Because there is a cost. I don't know what it costs, the retirement. I don't think it's substantial, but there is a cost associated with it.
Right.
It's 2 less books a month you're going to buy, Daniel.
We'll have to find someone to donate them for.
Sorry, that's really.
All right. So,
Alrighty.
Danielle, can you add that line and then send it to Karen so she'll send it to the attorney? Just
Is
add
that
the retirement based on the town, make sure it's based on the town's qualification policy. You can word that pretty good, I'm sure. Well, good words.
Next thing that's going to be 100% that we're all clear on is building responsibility between each party. You guys know we have some major stuff broken at the library, stuff that needs immediate attention. I don't want to be declarative like that, but I am. We can talk about that in a minute. Any questions or comments in regards to who's responsible for what? It's town building. Do some of the maintenance. Okay. Do you have anything to say? Priscilla? Ross? Great.
And we're meeting with the HVAC contractor tomorrow to look at the HVAC.
Okay, so, blower motor is broken on the AC. It's not working at all. We've got a quote to repair it. We would like to move forward with the repair. We have not seen it yet. I have a copy here. Sorry, it's just paper. To replace the blower motor on the AC through our current vendor, Granite State Plumbing and Heating, $2,140. Just so you know, we are having a hard time getting anyone out. We are contracted for various services through Granite State. It is hard to get someone to call us back. We discussed briefly. A lot of people just don't want to, they don't even call anyone back. We try to get different, we're thinking about trying to get a different service provider, different repair quotes, and to use some modern language, we go. So, Danielle has not sent this over. I went ahead and printed it off because I do feel like it's an immediate need. This is the.
That's why we're meeting with the HVAC contractor tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
This isn't the vote, though. This is not.
This is, so what we've asked the low bidder is the option, because of this repair and the condition of the equipment, to convert those to heat pumps, which would eliminate the need for the boiler repair. That's why he's coming.
So he's not. So that doesn't have to do with our immediate AC.
It would repair that as well. We would put him in
turnaround time
there.
we're talking about.
I am meeting him tomorrow, and best I can do is that's when you can get there. The heat will break, but the heat outside is breaking today.
Right.
So we are looking at a $40,000 repair there, a $40,000 repair at the Parade Fire Station, $15,000 repair to a generator. Every single one of those is an unbudgeted expense. We have to try and do the best that we can with those. And that's what we're trying to do right now, make the best decision. So if it's a $40,000 repair simply to replace a 40-year-old boiler with 40-year-old technology, or we can shift the library to today's high-efficient technology, that's the move we will end up making. Throwing an additional $2,100 at it today is throwing good money after that.
No, and
That's why we're
not
meeting
my
with them tomorrow.
intention is to throw around money. It's to get the AC to work in the building when it's 97 degrees out.
Yeah.
That's the part of this.
Is there a need air conditioning in the library or it's all?
Meeting room has air conditioning.
But that's a meeting.
So it's the main building has one, there's about 80 degrees in there today.
And I'm not sure why they shut off both units when only one's down.
I don't know.
So.
They typically, the other units talked about this, it has to be in the office.
No, it's shut off outside.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Because it was working for you on Monday.
The meeting room is on. You have 3 other condensers out there. You have 4 total. 2 out of the 4 right now are powered off.
I had no
So-
idea. Just told us the building.
So I'm not sure why they're
So the
all
main
powered off.
building itself has a just in here.
Yep.
And the other concern is that we're a cooling station for people in town that don't have AC.
Mhm.
I know it is. People go, we don't have air.
So if you can give us till tomorrow at noon when we meet with the HVAC contractor. You can imagine he's busy.
So, another point. It has not been an issue for us, and we were okay with using cold water. Our water meter is broken. Don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, but we're okay when we use the cold water to flush the toilets and wash the hands, right?
That's not
But
really
the
the point.
concern is now that it is leaking.
It's rusty out.
Things.
Right.
Um,
So what's this, your hot water tank?
They got a 10-gallon electric.
right.
That's it?
So I am not an expert. I don't know if this is a simple valve shut off. The quote to repair it is also here.
capital or
Granite
granite?
City.
Granite
I feel like it goes a little while, honestly, because the park
It's a
is
lot.
not that expensive.
Yes.
And,
Oh my gosh.
it's more than the north is, but I mean, the air conditioning. They want like 25 years of air.
I don't think it's supposed to come out of here.
No, it's not.
And we knew the
It's all-
constraints, so we've actually just been using cold water for a while.
It hasn't been working for a while, we just haven't been using it.
Right.
Now it's
Yeah. The problem now is that it's leaking.
It's not supposed to come out the electric.
No, it's not so sad.
I'm surprised that's all it is there. I mean, I guess it's just, what do you got, one bathroom in there?
replaced it about 9 years ago. Because the last one was
We went down to Home Depot. It looks like there might be another shut off right on the side of it too.
It's right there.
No, on the actual tank. That's it.
So that's where the dielectric is going in. There's the shut off. I think there was another one up here. Yeah, give that to Daniel. Show where it circles. That'll shut it off. There's a shut off valve. They're kind of crappy, but they're there.
Don't be standing in any water down there.
We should probably have a plumber.
She
Look
got
at
pretty
that.
good rubber on those soles there. I think she'll be all right.
That will shut off the water to the faucets and everything.
On the hot water side as well.
Hot
Just the
water.
hot water side. Which you're getting cold water anyway. So just shut that off. There should be another one on the other side, Danielle. Of it. It looks just like it. Remember that was the other.
Yeah,
Alright.
Danielle does as much as she can, but she's not a heating, plumbing, HVAC expert. I mean, she has literally read through the manual for the controls. Yeah, but and she really does do all she can to do minor repairs work, but some stuff is obviously under control. So
Danielle, are you there tomorrow again?
You got solder tubes or solder tools or anything like that?
That's all packs.
oh, clear water.
It's all packs. That's super easy.
I got a whole work helping
You
me.
should go to Home Depot and get some shark bites.
I probably got some right in my house.
So thank you. We'll amend the MOU, we'll send for review, and then we'll signature and date for a forward starting time, and then budget accordingly.
Exactly.
Yep.
We good?
Yep.
Crystal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So new business, we sent out the notifications to the Public Administration Subcommittee members. And Gary, so they're all gonna meet here next week with the board. Yeah, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna schedule a date to meet with Kate?
Yeah.
Go through that?
We'll meet with Kate right after that
Okay.
at some point. And then we'll set up some kind of a schedule that works for everybody. Hopefully.
Good luck with that.
What is
Yeah, I was gonna say, you might want to try and schedule that. Yeah.
That's so what we've done is, as we're moving forward with the town, the fire chief and police chief contracts expire some date and time in the future. Karen will probably be retiring someday. So it's, so what we want to do is get the town's input on how the town should move forward. So I've heard many different things. In my time, we should have a full-time this, full-time that, don't need this, do need that. For the board to make that decision by ourselves, the five of us, is probably not the fairest thing to the town. So this subcommittee's job is to seek out the opinion, in a sense, of the town. And then be able to come back to the board and say, this is, and sending it to a subcommittee makes it, while it's still public meetings and it's all that, it's not the board making a decision, right? And it's not a board making a blind decision either. It's getting input. So we put out, we got 14 applicants. I noticed you weren't on there, Dale, apparently. And we did a ranking and we picked them. And, you know, whatever, everybody had their own opinion as to why they picked somebody. And so we now have 7. And they've been notified, and we'll move forward from that. They will meet. What's really nice about it, there are a couple people that have done nothing on a board in town. At the same time, we have people that, to me, would be highly qualified. We have a former fire chief. We have a current police chief. We have a,
2 fires and 2 police.
Yep, we do. We have a firefighter and a police officer, both. So it's people that understand and can bring that value. The important thing is this subcommittee has no say in anything that they can't come in here and say, boy, I really don't like the fire chief and we should do something about it. That's not in their wheelhouse. We don't want them critiquing our departments. This is supposed to be all positive. No, we don't want any negative coming out of them. We don't want them saying we're not doing it right. What we want to say is this is what the town wants to do going forward. So they really have to go out and have people come in, talk to them, and do all that, and try and ask the correct questions, I guess, and maybe do it with a little more knowledge than some of us might have as we look at it, right? It's easy for us to say, well, the town elected us. We'll do what we think's best, but let's hear what the town thinks is best for them. So that's what that is.
And it is kind of an aggressive schedule as well, because we're looking for results from this from January.
For January. And so what we need from them is the results so that we can go to the town by town meeting. If there's a change, maybe they come back there and say, status quo is the way to go. Or they may come back and say, well, yeah, you guys have been talking about a full-time fire chief and that's what you need. Or whatever it is. They may come back and say, not only do we need a full-time police chief, we need 15 officers and helicopters, right? We got to go budget for that. That might be a little bit of pushback from town. I don't know, but you never know, right?
Maybe on a helicopter.
That's right. But it's figuring out what they want, and there's a ton of options, right? And so it's allowing them to look at it. And some of them, they may come back and say, well, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard of. Or they may say, this is brilliant. So that's why I'm not on it. We did. Yeah, we did. It was really good. We did.
I know we're not open to public, but yeah, I'm not sure how we got started on that here.
Oh, that's right. Because you want to know what it meant, right?
Okay. All right.
I think also it's important.
You know what we'll do? We'll open public input.
Well, I have something for you too.
No, I just think it's important that we state that we're bringing the public in to this. Not that we'll use any idea they have, and maybe we'll use all of them, but it'll be a help to us, excuse me, and it's also a continuation since March of this board to include the public in as much as we can and keep them aware of what's going on and them being a part of these decisions. So.
Good.
I'm good.
Well done.
I can't talk.
So,
I had my safety meeting on Wednesday, and I don't have to say his name because the only people that came was the library, and she mentioned everything that I was told.
all right.
So thank you for saving my voice.
It's probably my fault anyway.
There you go.
Well, Jessica, she was good.
All right, and since we're not going to discuss the boiler RFPs anymore, and because we're doing it tomorrow.
Is it public input yet, Andy?
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And Michelle's going first. She's ready. So at 6:44, we'll open up for public input. Michelle?
Actually, I have a question about the public administration subcommittee that's been created. I believe that there will be a select board rep to this committee. Yes. Can you hear me, Gary? I'm sorry.
I can now, thanks.
I'm here tonight as the budget committee chair about the public administration subcommittee. There will be a board of selectmen rep to this committee, correct?
Yes.
Gary.
Since this committee will, the possibility of the outcome may have a significant fiscal impact to the town, I'm asking that the budget committee be allowed to have a member come to this.
We haven't
these meetings.
Hillary was selected to be on it. She's a member of the budget committee.
Hillary is selected. I spoke with Hillary. She is sitting as a resident of the town, not as a budget committee, and would be the budget committee's decision for the record.
What's that?
What would be the reason for a member of the budget committee to be sitting on this?
Because if it's my understanding about what Rob just indicated, they're gonna make recommendations to the board on what the town thinks we should have for different things. That can have fiscal impact on the town. The budget committee's charge is fiscal responsibility for the town.
They're not making any decisions.
Yeah, but they're not, yeah, we're not deciding anything
Yeah.
with the committee.
We make the decision.
That's fine, if you don't think that it's
They're
important.
gonna be
Well,
open meetings, right?
Yeah, they're open,
Yeah.
they're public
They're open
meetings.
So anybody can come and anybody can.
The biggest reason there's a selectmen's rep is we kind of have to because it's a board created by the select board. My concern with the budget committee representative on there, if they're looking at fiscal responsibility, is somebody comes in with an idea and they have a conversation and somebody shoots it down fiscally before it comes out. Again, it's not what any of us think is best for the town. It's what the town thinks is best for the town. And that's the town's decision. And sometimes we have to be really careful that we don't dampen their fire or put it down based on what we think. So it becomes really important that this doesn't have much, I don't want to say it doesn't have oversight, but they're really allowed to kind of free range. And they may come back to the board and say, we want to spend $400,000, and we're going to say, not going to happen, right? Or we're going to go to budget committee. Or it's the fact that they say we want to spend $400,000, and I'm just making that number up. Whoever's taking the notes. Yeah. And that goes to the town to make the decision if they want to do that. If there is a decision that says we want to change to a full-time employee over there and that fiscal impact is $100,000, that's the town's decision to make. That becomes a warrant article. And we have the time to do that based on where they are. So it just allows the town to make the decision. You know, sometimes we think we know. Maybe we don't.
And Gary, you'll put all the meetings and when they happen and stuff on our website, right? So everybody will know.
Sure.
We'll make sure.
That's why we're doing this, so it all gets out to the public and the public is involved.
You're gonna post the meetings also on Facebook.
Sure.
Gary will do. You don't have roads to talk about right now.
Yeah, there's no snow, so I'm a little freed up.
I was just gonna say, you just take place in your road update.
Although we have to, once the road work
So
begins.
no meetings have been set yet.
Nope. July
July 1st.
July 1st, they're going to meet with the select board, and then they'll all get posted. They're a public meeting. So posting of a meeting goes into two places, and they will probably post the way we're doing select board meetings at this point in time. We post a month at a time. They'll be at the post office. They'll probably be here at the town hall. So this board will meet all the public meeting laws.
And it'll be treated as a normal board, just like we are. They'll provide or allow public input. You know, they'll notify the public of the meeting, what's on the meeting, or
They'll have minutes.
meeting minutes. So I mean,
Those will be posted to the website as well.
Just so you know, that the RSA does not require minutes to be posted to the town's website. We don't even have to approve and sign minutes under RSA, which is the dumbest thing ever. But if we choose not to sign them, they never have to be posted to the website. But again, the goal is, Michelle, to get as many people as possible involved. And I know there's some frustration between a couple of former select board members that were not chosen. And that's not what the town wanted. They don't want our opinion. They don't want former board member opinions. We need new opinions. And that's what, we got a whole lot of new people that probably have no idea what 91A is. And one of the very first things is going to be to explain to them how a public meeting works. And again, it's not the same old opinion that goes on. It is that our community has changed.
and
We have a yes. Are you here for fun?
I mean, ultimately, this committee, it's an advisory committee. If they come back to us with a recommendation, doesn't mean this board's going to actually go with it, or we're going to look at it and go, we'll go with this, but it's going to be a 3-year plan because of budgeting, particularly. I know, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't mean like they're going to come and say we want
these people.
this, and it's 100% all in. So
I just want to make sure I'm aware of where I need information when meetings are, if there are minutes where they can be posted off.
Yep.
So I can share that with them. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything in public? Where do you live? You have to state your address.
151 Quebec Road.
You do not.
You had mentioned, and it was, I had seen that there are a lot of things broken in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a total, just initially quoted budget figure, like the generator, the boiler, our boiler, just to repair those as they are right now? Do we have, like, what is that dollar amount total?
$95,000.
I'm sorry?
$95,000.
And how much money is in the budget line currently for that?
I think it's all been expended at this point in time. It's all expended.
So still there's no more money?
Well, so when we look at our budget, we are a bottom line budget. That line item is currently expended. We have several other maintenance lines that are over expended. When we look at the entire town's budget, we are still okay. It will have to come from somewhere. The intention that this board has for this year is we will overexpend lines as opposed to trying to move them to somewhere else. So when we go to budget committee next year, when the department heads come, we can see, hey, maybe we've been shorting the maintenance lines, for a couple of years. And that's one of the things we're looking at. It is catching up. The police department ran out of maintenance money last year. Fire department's out of maintenance money. I think town highway's out.
And I just want to add, 2 or 3 years ago, we did create that town meeting, a separate capital reserve for buildings and repairs. We put $50,000 because we knew some of these issues would come up. However, we didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be all at once.
Right. So there are, and we are watching that. We will. I believe we've been having a conversation about putting a soft freeze on spending in various departments to try and just stay ahead of it. But we do look at where we are, and it's the bottom line. Where is the bottom line of our budget? I will say our fire department is probably the best one at tracking every single little line item to the point where they drive us nuts. But they do a really good job at watching everything. But again, it's we go to the town meeting, and there's this outcry about taxes, and it's a tax bill part that we're not responsible for that overshadows the conversation about what the town needs. And the town does need to spend money on maintenance.
So, just so I'm understanding, and I'm going to harken back to a budget committee meeting a couple years ago. I'm not sure who was the opinions, but I remember someone said to Gail about, I just remember the quote. It was, you can move money out of a different line within your budget. So is that as long as you're saying town budget?
So if Gail
money from somewhere else?
So if Gail spends more money buying cotton candy than she has, then she can't spend money buying mower blades, right? Because that's in her budget. So Gail can't go to the fire department and say, hey, guess what, Al? I need $20,000 of your budget to do. That's a whole different conversation. But if you look at the warrant article that's voted on at the town meeting, it is whatever it was this year, $6 million, whatever it worked out to be. That's what the town voted to spend. And then within that is the select board's responsibility.
The select board's decision.
So please don't ask us to take it from somebody's budget right now in a public meeting. I'm just letting you know.
I think she was asking about your own budget.
Yeah.
And you can move.
Yeah, you can move it. But you could.
No, right. I was just asking, like, for example, the town maintenance and repair budget as compared to, give me something that won't fit somebody.
Library books.
Yes.
So we're looking at the bottom line. That's it. So we have 6 million, something like that. It's
Yeah.
actually it's 5.
Yeah.
Because the rest was capital reserve stuff, right? So that's what we have to spend. So when we've already overexpended the line item for the generator or town highway, I think we had some repairs. We've already expended. That's going to come from somewhere. We don't have like some money just sitting around going, oh, this is our rainy day. In case we do have surplus that we're required to have statewide. But so what will end up happening is we won't move it per se. We won't spend it. So we have unfilled positions in the police department. We have them budgeted. So that money probably won't get spent for salaries. But and so at the end of the year, he'll have a surplus. You guys will have a negative, or Gail has a negative, or the buildings have a negative. And that's how, and it all offsets when we get to the bottom.
And ultimately, the select board decides how to spend that town budget of $6 million.
And what we do is we approve the expenditures. So it's not that we're sitting around saying, boy, we'd like to put some carpet in here and some drapes. It's we're saying, are we going to buy this, fix this, whatever it is. So we had to make the decision. Do we repair a generator for $14,000? Do we replace a generator for $38,000? Or do you not have a generator at your fire station? Like that's literally the decision the select board had to make. And then it's literally Karen's job to figure out where that comes from. And then we watch the budget as we're going, because we can't overexpend the budget. So what we can't do legally, when we hit that cap, we're done.
We're not like the federal government. We just can't print out some more.
When we have like people not filled and if those positions are empty, a lot of that money also, the overtime budget gets expended. So a lot of that money that we aren't paying the people is getting put into the overtime. Covering for the people that aren't there.
I mean, each department head is watching their own budget, and I'll use highway for an example. If they overexpend on the grader, they overexpend on the town trucks, they overexpend on all the equipment, where does the money come from when they overexpend it? Typically, it's the gravel line. So when you don't see gravel being put on the road, that's the biggest, I say, percentage in that budget, and that's typically where the money will come from. They just won't spend it all, but the bottom line, they'll still be in the positive.
Yeah.
So, just because I hope to come away with information for our staff. I mean, updating to an energy efficient unit would be the best case scenario, but it also might be the most expensive case scenario. So, hopefully, we can all hope that they're compared to repairing the system as opposed to updating it to high efficiency. If the numbers are comparable, what if they're not comparable? Worst case scenario. What if it's $80,000, $90,000 to update that unit to a high efficiency unit that fixes everything and updates that bootstrap system? We don't have 9 grants for this. So I'm trying to sometimes figure out or do I just come to the next meeting next week and see?
We have to also look at long term. We can't be fixing something for the next 6 months.
The
8
boiler
months.
at the library should not be fixed. It needs to be replaced.
Right.
No, I'm just
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
Comes back at 90 or 100 grand, which we
Right.
don't have the money for.
It could come back at 40. It could come back at 90. So for us to sit here and, well, what if? Again, what if? Right? What I can tell you is that to spend $2,100 today when we have a guy coming tomorrow is not a good move. Right? We could tell Granite State tomorrow if we don't like the answer we get with the technician that's
Right,
there.
that's not what I was asking. I'm just kind of thinking worst case scenario.
If again, so it's a decision we have to make. If it's $2,000 today to fix one unit out of 4 that are over there, right? And that gives you that indication they're all going to begin to fail. I looked at those condensers. They're old, they're tired, which means that if next year we have a $30,000 repair,
Right.
and this year you got out of it for 60, like we could play the game all day long with the what? Until we have a number, we can't decide. And when we get a number, then we go and figure out how we pay for it.
Thank you.
Because we don't have the money for the boiler either.
Right, I know.
So we're all ready.
I guess,
You want to make a donation?
And we've been getting something every week,
We have. It's
which is
every-
unusual.
which begs the question, it's been tossed around, I'm wondering if the select board, I think that the public administration committee is such a good idea. But this idea has been rolled around and presented a couple times about a building and maintenance person. I know that would potentially be a hireable position, but I guess I just want to reinstate the importance next year and the future to kind of keep it in your heads. The importance of having a town building.
It's been discussed, without
Yeah.
a doubt. It's just the right timing, person, finances.
And it'd be even better if we could find somebody that would fit a good position already that we might have available that we could utilize for that as well, such as maybe somebody with a highway department that can drive a truck and plow and everything, but still be a maintenance guy.
And we still have, the highway department has 2 positions open. Police department has 4. Fire department has 1. We really have a half position open in here. So there's always trying to get, and then it's like, well, we'll get a committee. If you look at our committees, it is the same people on all our committees. This public administration subcommittee was pretty exciting because there were some new people on it.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Michelle, will you yield your time?
Do we have time?
Okay.
Just one last thing. I guess I just want to speak a little defensively. Danielle does the best she can with that whole HVAC system. There's stuff that we don't know a switch and not switch. I mean, she is brilliant, and she is the best researcher I know, but she's not an HVAC system expertise. So it's not like we're like, oh, I didn't know.
Well, it is.
I don't think anybody.
Nobody's saying that.
You got defensive for no reason.
Well, we need to
Literally,
Yeah.
you just went full ham.
Well, what we need to let you know is that the library is very old, and a lot of the stuff old there is very old.
Right. We're well aware of the condition of the equipment, and we prefer that Danielle didn't play with Freon and compressors and stuff like that. And nobody's accusing her of being responsible for it. The motors fail. You have a motor that's failed, and there's probably, I would venture to say that in New England, 700 of those motors failed today. Okay? Yeah. Oh, hospital's not working. I mean, it's literally the case of.
Thank you very much.
Crazy.
Thank you.
You all set? Sure. Michelle.
There is a position in the highway department that was added to the budget last year, not for maintenance on landscaping, all those kinds of things. Is that a big position you're talking about?
Yep. That's never been filled.
So we do have a position on this that have to be created.
We have 2. That's I think what he said. We have 2 positions
Two of
available,
them available.
and hopefully you
I
could.
heard somebody say we need to create a vacancy.
That was Ann asked about it, but we already have unfilled positions in the town.
And we were just hoping to utilize a position like that as a multifunctional position as opposed to adding somebody else to payroll, whether it's part-time or full-time. Okay, well, that's.
Anyone else for public input? Linda, you good? All right. Thor?
Should we call Rusty? Or?
Could call
I know. Why
Rusty
isn't Rusty
on
here?
speaker.
That's what's wrong. That's why I'm all messed up. Rusty's not here to
He sent
tell
in.
us about the road.
Maybe he's hanging.
He's been hated to.
It's fine.
No, he did not hate today. I think he. No, that's right. So at 7:05, I will close public input. Do you have anything else?
Miscellaneous.
Anything under miscellaneous?
I was asked, the historical folks, when we start the addition, are they still going to be able this fall to have their raffle function that they have here in the hall?
What's the date?
Hang on. So Gary, that's it. They came here, they asked that question, and they got an answer from the full board already. The same people.
Three of them just asked me this
Tell me.
weekend.
Tell them it's the same answer. At this point in time, we don't know when this starts. However, the way it looks, they will not be able to have it here if it starts in September. We will be, whether we're working in here or
Personnel
are in here,
No.
I would venture to say that the answer would be no.
Good enough. Thank you.
Maybe they can use the fire station.
Maybe Parade Fire Station.
We may be using that.
We
too.
won't need air conditioning for that, so they can use the library.
Yeah.
But we need heat.
That's true, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so it's an answer we don't know until it starts. Do you have something?
Yeah. So, planning board last week. Planning board approved subdivision on Will Smith Road there. There's a stipulation there that there's a culvert that needs to get put in. The applicant is going to pay 1/3 of that. The town pays 2/3 of that. That was the better option, in my opinion, too. And I felt that was the better option for the board. This culvert that is going to get put in, it'll be a little over $400,000 the town has to come up with. We have 6 years to get it completed. This culvert, though, will be considered a New Hampshire DOT bridge. We have money in the bridge fund, if need be. So there's a couple different ways we can go about this, too. Obviously, the board's got to discuss it and plan it all with the town's engineer that has plans for it. So, but within talking last week about it, Class 5 standards, it was mentioned that with the traffic flows, that road should be paved. Obviously,
What,
not-
half of it, you mean?
no, the whole thing, all over Will
To
Smith.
Pittsfield?
Yep, right to the town line.
Yeah, but that's only half of it.
That's our half. That's the only part we have to worry about.
Well, that's what I'm
This
saying.
However,
assumption is on this end.
yes, but we
So
don't.
we're gonna pay.
But we don't have to pave it. Okay, that's the thing. So instead of it being a requirement to pave the road, we don't have to. We can leave it gravel because it's not on our radar for anything right now. So, but just to fill in the board on that.
So the culvert bridge is just as you turn on to Will Smith, right? That
Yep.
that wet
That
section
road,
down in the middle there.
And that wet section will come up 7 feet.
And right now we have a culvert there
There is a culvert
that
there.
works.
No.
Well, it doesn't work.
There
I've never
is-
seen that. I've never seen that
There
water
is-
flooded over.
There is issues with that culvert. So,
Okay.
uh,
What's it? Yeah, but is it broken?
I honestly don't know.
Because it's been
I
there
haven't seen it.
200 years, as far as I know, and it's been working.
So ultimately, the applicant wanted to pay for a study done, and the planning board felt no, not to just pay for a study and put the full cost of this culvert on the town. So because it was mentioned that now that it's been talked about in a public meeting, the town knows that there's an issue with the culvert. There's a timeline that they have to do something to it.
So okay.
They explained it when I was on the planning board, and they went, if they paved those driveways,
Yeah.
the water would be too fast, and that culvert would never be able to handle
It
it.
increases velocity. Yeah.
And that's basically a lot of what they, if they leave the driveways dirt and the roads dirt, it's probably gonna be okay, but if they don't.
Yeah, do we have any bridges red flagged right now?
Railroad,
Only one.
which John Armstrong, that works for the town's engineer, Right Angle Engineering, looked at it last Thursday, and he said he's like it's not in bad shape. And I told him, I said my understanding, and I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was the state doesn't like the double main culverts and the double overflow. They want it as like a box culvert, a bridge is what the state wants. So
The state ought to come up with some money.
very possible.
Right, and the red list doesn't mean the whole bridge has to be.
Yeah,
replaced.
yeah.
Yeah.
They designate areas that may need some repair. So
Which one was that?
Gray Road.
Bless you. I just wondered because we've been, I
Right.
think since Hannah Nutter probably is the last one we had to take care of. That's why that money goes into that part of the budget every year. Because if
What's
they
the
come in
status
and
on
say,
Depot
this
Street
has got to be fixed.
I don't know yet, honestly.
And we do have the Depot Street Bridge that was just weight limited, lower than the weight of our.
For the emergency vehicles.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Gray Road Bridge, we looked at that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still the same, so I'm like,
Yeah.
it hasn't changed.
So,
Any other good news?
not really. But
Michelle, you need to get a budget committee rep on the planning board. There's an expense to the
Real
decision.
I don't know, I think they did a pretty good job.
400 grand.
Charging the guy for a subdivision to pay for a third of it.
Yep. We got to come up with the other 400.
And something that we would have had to replace our own.
yeah.
Anything else? You want non-public?
To me,
Okay.
I think we have.
All right. We're going to a non-public.
Yep.
Means you guys all get to go home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Non-public. You're the public.
I didn't have a non-public because the public can't talk.
No.
No,
Can't be
There
here.
There's certain things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.
Adios.
No, this is so normal.
See you guys.
Bye. Is anything broken this week? You jinxed us.